Okay, yes, I changed in between because we're getting ready for the movie and I have to leave soon. So let's see. Oh, and the person that I was just talking about before, from last summer, she created an entire blog just to rant about me and him and our imagined, you know, conspiracy theory, and had a fake name for me and a fake name for him, and it was like, it sounded so much like a soap opera. I mean, I was literally like, do you not have like a job and something to do with your life other than to sit around and complain about something over which you have no control? I mean, seriously. What do I always say to you guys? I say to everybody, I read it, it's such an awesome quote, that which we cannot affect, we must accept. So, and I've had to really drive that home with myself, because there are people that have wronged me, even recently. And when you know that they're wrong or that you're right, you know, you want to prove it, you want to fix it or whatever. Well, guess what? At the end of the day, what do you have when you prove something right or wrong? Is that going to change if you're talking about a relationship, or maybe you got fired and whatever? It's necessarily, you might be able to prove that they were wrong for firing you, but that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get your job back. In a relationship, you know, I had to really, in the day, force myself to stop trying to figure out what happened with my ex-husband and I. You know, I've talked to you guys about this before, you know, and it's still, I mean, if I really allowed myself to think about it, it was just the freakiest, weirdest, most odd situation. And again, people that know him, my ex-husband, and people that are in his family, they all said, I mean, it was literally like a different person came home in this man's body. It was that strange. But at the end of the day, what's it going to profit me to figure out what happened? Still isn't going to change anything. The person that's there, you know, whether there was a shift in his mind, whatever it is, he doesn't want to be with me. So I need to just get over it and move on and stop being sad and down and whatever. You know, guess what? I told you guys this before. It was the most excruciatingly, emotionally tough time I have ever been through, but you know what? It was a gift. There was a reason that it happened. It was difficult. I'm better for it. I'm more excited about my life and my future. And I'm not gonna disparage or say anything bad about the man that I was married to. Up until, you know, the point that he made those decisions. He's responsible for that. But he was the most amazing person that I spent those 3 years with, and I'm better for it. I'm also better for the tough times. So, you know, you have to be able to look at those things and move on. My gosh. I told you before, in the midst of that, I said, I am not going to get bitter, I'm going to get better. And I see this happening with so many people. Like that woman last summer, it's like, why are you spending your days stalking my blog? I don't even know who you are. I certainly didn't know who you are and set out to steal your man, and I didn't steal your man because I don't even know. Who cares about the story? But what does it profit you? What are you getting by coming on my blog and leaving mean comments? You know, it does nothing. So just that to be, and I don't understand it. I mean, this girl is a beautiful girl. She's absolutely just a beautiful woman, fit, wonderful, has, you know, I almost said a good head on her shoulders, but, you know, I'm just going to say, she's an attractive person. Move on. Accept it and just move on. Stop looking in the past and stop being bitter and angry and resentful. It's not attractive. It makes you need to get Botox earlier, people. Come on. And so that was last summer, and most recently what I have been dealing with, I don't even know if I can fit it on a vlog, you guys, and I don't even know if you would believe me, but you know, if you don't believe me, ask people here that are local. They've had to endure it with me. There have been really two people in particular. One of them is a woman who I thought was my friend. She befriended me online. This just goes to show you, again, if you don't have a long history with somebody and you really, really know them, watch out. And this person became my friend, and then became way too close for comfort. Way too close for comfort. It was uncomfortable, and I had to have a conversation with this person to say, you know what, I can't be as involved with you, meaning like talking a lot, texting a lot, emailing a lot, having conversations a lot. I just don't have that kind of time. And this person was just possessive and, you know, wanting to be involved and having an influence in every single part of my life. And it just became very uncomfortable. And I remember saying to her, I said, you know, you're starting to act like my boyfriend, and it's creeping me out. And it was a difficult conversation to have, but I knew that I had to say it. I had to be right out there. And so we kind of, you know, had that breakup talk, right? And I thought, well, let's, you know, I feel bad, but we're just going to move on, and so on and so forth. And, you know, this person is no longer around in my life. And I just found out earlier this week that, you know, if I thought my suspicions about her were true, they are, if this is what I thought about her being kind of way over the line, was this is where my mind was, it was worse than I ever thought. This person was going because she didn't want me to be dating anybody or seeing anybody. And there was a guy that I had met and started to share with her, again, back when we were talking. And I was sharing with her, you know, oh, he's really a sweet guy. He's so nice, and he's actually polite. I mean, this is actually kind of a bonus with me when I meet a man and he's polite and he's not disgusting or crude or psychotic or on cops or on parole or whatever. So it was kind of nice. And I was sharing that with her. And then I remember that he kind of just stopped communicating with me out of the blue. And he was supposed to be in Chicago. And I remember going, oh, I thought he was going to be in Chicago and we were going to get together for coffee or whatever. And I remember saying that to her and she didn't say anything. Well, guess what? This broad was going behind my back and friending my people, my friends, some of them, in particular, any men that were approaching me or beginning to have any kind of relationship with me, friending them on Facebook and emailing them on Facebook without my knowledge or my consent, and basically saying to them that she was screening men for me, and that there was a long line of men in line to date me, and that she needed to kind of pre-approve them. And because she was my best friend, she needed to let them know or find out if they'd be good enough for me. And then proceeded to ask a series of beyond inappropriate questions to these people. Who does this? I mean, how completely out of your mind do you have to be to do that? And what was your point? And I'm sitting here and I'm looking back over the past, and I'm realizing that I was having conversations with her, and I was mentioning like, wow, I haven't heard from him for a while. Well, you know, I guess he's busy or something. And she's like on the other end, probably like, oh yeah, I took care of that. Are you serious? I mean, what? And she never ever has admitted it, and just didn't think there was any. I cannot even comprehend what motivates somebody, what goes on in your brain from a normal human being perspective, that you get to that point where you're doing that. I mean, where you think you own my life and you can make decisions for me and interfere in my life. I mean, that's just it. And I mean, again, all of this stuff, you guys, has been so creepy and so bizarre. And this person didn't live locally. And I remember saying to my friend Miranda, I remember saying, you know what? She scares me so much that if she was here, I would not feel safe in this house. And I still don't feel safe in this house, which is why I had all of these security measures put up and so on, which I finally do now because it's like Fort Knox around here. But now, I mean, honestly, I'm looking at moving. And when I move, no one's going to know where I live except my close friends and family. And I mean, these are just boundaries that I've learned I've had to put up. And that's not even getting into, you know, the worst one of all, which, you know, I'm almost out of time. I'm going to have to tell you guys that in the next vlog. And, you know, you'll just have to stay tuned. Because this is like As the World Turns. And I have got to leave for my movie in a second. And I haven't even done my shoes yet. I have shoes set up here for you. So hold the thought.